Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and I'll be talking about a heavy bolt pistol, Xenophase Blade, Wings of Flame build for the Assault class in patch 10.2 Space Marine 2. The Xenophase Blade is a heroic variant of the standard power sword. I think this is the overall coolest weapon in the game currently, and the heroic perk effect is called Ancient Technology. Power Rake waves are wider and deal 20% more damage. Now, Power Rake is already the strongest attack on the power sword in general, so it's actually a great perk for us. I would say the block power sword is still better, but this one is still very strong for sure. Now, for the perk tree, I do pick up the perk Armored Strength first. If you have armor remaining, melee damage increases by 10%. We will be having the perk over here, Armor Reinforcement, active, so getting armor back is quite easy, and keeping that armor active for that 10% buff is quite easy for us as well. And next perk here is Master of Offense. After switching sword combat style, you deal 20% more melee damage for 5 seconds. Cooldown is 10 seconds. Now, 20% more melee damage on top of the Power Rake buff off of a lunging attack is very strong. Really nice DPS increase here for like one Power Rake. And the next perk after this is Perpetual Strength. Moving here to Perpetual Strength for a flat 10% melee damage increase. Then I grab the perk Tranquility, which really doesn't do a ton for us on this build, to be honest. We have to pick this one up to take Melee Onslaught. This weapon deals 10% more melee damage. Moving here into the perk Hard Target. While performing a light combo, you take 15% less range damage. Now, light combos are actually pretty easy on the power sword. I would say this perk is better on things like the fencing for that attack speed, but it still helps us here occasionally, and 15% less range damage is not terrible by any means. And the final perks I grab here are Cutting Edge. Power Rake deals 50% more melee damage. This is probably the best perk in this entire tree here, because having Power Rake do more damage, it's already your strongest attack on this weapon anyways, so super powerful option, and the perk up here could really use a buff. And the final perks I grab are Minoris Slayer, the perk here Extremis Slayer, Majoris Slayer, and of course Terminus Slayer. Now, if you don't want to take Minoris Slayer, I do find this one occasionally helps with killing some Minoris, but to be honest, you could just take Power Restoration or Speed Restoration, because these two perks can definitely help out your CHP regen, and with the perk over here, Defense Mechanism, you have the extra time to actually get that back, so pretty good options for sure. Now, for the secondary here, I do take a heavy bolt pistol because I am trying to max out my Gunstrike damage. This has the highest single target Gunstrike damage in the game. Now, the benefit of weapons like the Inferno pistol and the Plasma pistol is that their gun strikes hit multiple enemies. This one's the overall highest, so I want to take it here today. Now, the variant I choose is the Ammo Reserve option because the Assault class has no ammo perks whatsoever, so this actually helps us a ton. And for the perk tree, I just build down this line to take perks like Death Strike. After killing a Majoris level or higher enemy with melee combat, you deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. Really strong perk for sure. It also triggers off a finisher. Then I move up here into the perk Great Might and grab the perk Discipline. When you have low ammo, you deal 25% more damage. This perk is actually incredibly powerful because getting low ammo happens all the time on Assault. And the final perks you grab are Strong Finish, the perk here Headhunter, moving here into the perk Gunstrike Reload, and once again into the perk Tactical Precision. Headshots deal 20% more damage, non-headshot damage decreases by 10%. Now, headshots are pretty much all that matters on any of the bolt weapons in this game anyways, so this perk is pretty good wherever you can find it. Now, I do want to mention that if you don't want to take this top row, you could just go down the bottom here and pick up things like Able Damage. After using a class ability, damage increases by 20% for 10 seconds. This perk is by no means bad. It's actually very strong in the Assault class, especially with Wings of Flame, because you will be using your jump pack all the time. I just kind of prefer the top row for things like Discipline, but that's really up to you. Now, for the Assault perk tree, I do take Armor Reinforcement first. Non-finish for Gunstrikes for Swarm on Armor segment. This is by far the best perk in this row for this build. Currently, the Overcharge perk does not work on the Power Rake for Assault at all. It's kind of strange because this perk does work for Power Rake on the Bulwark, but the Assault's kind of left behind. It's either a bug or a nerf. Either way, Armor Reinforcement is currently the best option because drip-fed Armor Reinforcement is just incredible in Space Marine 2. Any amount of armor will basically take down any incoming melee hit to 0, even from bosses. So a super powerful option here and really trivializes things like Tyranids, especially with fencing weapons. Next perk here is Defense Mechanism. Contested health fades 50% more slowly. This perk simply makes it very easy to get CHP back on this class, and the heavy bolt pistol is not terrible at CHP regen, but it's not quite as fast as say like a Rate of Fire Plasma, so this actually helps out a ton. Next perk here is Active Attrition. Enemies hit by melee attacks take 15% more damage for 3 seconds. This actually applies a debuff to the enemy that helps your whole team, so pretty strong option. Though if you do want to take things like Knowledge of the enemy instead, you definitely can. Both of these perks are quite good. Now, the next perk in the team perk selection is Proven Efficiency. All squad members deal 30% more Gunstrike damage. This is a Gunstrike build with Wings of Flame after all, so kind of a no-brainer. If you want to take Strategic Strikes for whatever reason, you definitely could. These are definitely the two best team perks here if you want to pick one of these. Now, next perk here is Precision Strike. Ground Pound deals 100% more damage, but its radius is reduced by 50%. This perk is quite good at being able to almost one-shot a lot of the Tyranids in the game, or straight up one-shot them with certain builds is pretty amazing. Now, I do prefer things like Hammer of Wrath and the perk here, Smiting Angel, for a lot of other builds, but on Wings of Flame, I think this one has the overall best synergy. Next perk here is Wings of Flame, a jump pack dash that damages enemies along its trajectory and always works as a perfect dodge when dodging an attack. Basically, this gives a perfect dodge frame to your entire jump pack dash, just like your jump pack dodge. So really strong for things like commitment, and really does a significant amount of damage, especially to things like the Karn effect. So I actually like this perk quite a bit. I do think that Zealous Blow is a better build overall, but we are building for Wings of Flame. I think this one is super fun. And next perk here is Aerial Grace. After a perfectly timed dodge using a jump pack dash, you deal 30% more damage for 10 seconds. This is just a straight damage buff off of jump pack dash, and you will be using jump pack dash quite regularly with the Wings of Flame commitment perk, so kind of a no-brainer. And for the signature perk here, we do take the perk Commitment. A perfectly timed dodge using a jump pack dash restores jump pack's ability charge. This is pretty much mandatory on a Wings of Flame build. Without this, you'll run out of your jump pack so quickly you'll hardly be able to use it at all. This really should be built into like the base assault class, but unfortunately it is just one of the signature perks, but you kind of have to take it if you want this build to work at all, so just kind of a no-brainer there. Now for the prestige perk selection, I do take Unyielding Oath first once again. When charging a ground pound, you become invulnerable for 3 seconds. This one just generates so much value for you. At times, you can jump through a Neurothrope Shout, a Neurothrope Wave, even things like the Hellbrute AoE. Really, really useful to keep you alive. I actually think this is one of the best perks in this entire tree. And next perk is also incredible with Adrenaline Boost. After a perfect time parry, block, or dodge, you do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back for 10 seconds. This perk is also incredible. It simply keeps you alive from stun locks. Stun locks are one of the easiest ways to die in all of Space Marine 2. This simply allows you to respond to things you would otherwise be unable to, so incredibly powerful. Pretty much always grab these two, unless you have the perk over here, Hammer of Wrath, for no knockback. Now, the next perk here is Scramble Targeting. If you're surrounded by 5 or more enemies, you take 20% less damage from range attacks. Range damage reduction in this game is quite useful, maybe a little bit less useful than it used to be because now we have Chaos Spawn, but still very strong. And the final perk I grab is Fortitude. Health increases by 15%. Having a health increase in this game is one of the most valuable things you could possibly have. It basically makes you more tanky because in Space Marine 2, the lower your HP gets, the more damage resist you get, like in 4 increments or so. So it really helps you out a ton. Very valuable perk. Though I will say, if you want to swap out Scramble Targeting on like this perk selection here for something like Practice Aim, you definitely can. Or alternatively, you could swap out Unyielding Oath for Practice Aim because a 15% range damage increase is quite good as well. That is up to you, but I just think that this is the overall best for this build setup. And that's pretty much all I have to say about this Wings of Flame build. Hopefully this build guide helped. Wings of Flame is quite good in this game. Not quite as strong as Zealous Blow in my opinion, but still pretty damn strong. And as always, if you like content like this, subscribe for more and take it easy. Bye.
Lictor hunts us. Veil. On those first over, avenging angel will expose them. If more to come, then they too will be purged. An angel of death. It must be destroyed.
I'm an Araman fan at least. Araman's pretty cool. Cool to Magnus. Not hard to do. Wow, the actual tragedy.
Avenging angel.
Alright, there we go.
Busy, the Ravener dug his own grave. I'm airborne ready.
I was a little sus having them pop out all of Extremis on me. All works out in the end.
The Imperium's hammer rises to strike. I grant you this. Swapping magazine. Sight unseen, the lictor stirs no more. Curse the sword in a hail of blood. Avenging angel at your disposal.
Actually missed that. Yeah, block wall. Unfortunate.
Reload.
Or use this.
Be as an angel of death. Finish his firepower. The Zoanthropus fall to be trampled. Jump pack refuel.
Goddamn. Nerf sure are annoying sometimes.
Let terror fall. Reloading magazine. Right, I am airborne ready.
Hello, TG. What's up, Fred?
This sector is cleansed of tyranny presence.
Alright, well that was one of the harder parts of this mission.
The bindings have been loosened. I
Well,
thank
TG.
this machine
Gunstrikes are so strong on tactical, so you don't need to melee at all.
Escort the payload to the train.
On tactical, or you mean
The
assault?
cogitator shows me a transport lift we may use.
Has anyone ever in chat played Black, an FPS campaign game for the Xbox, or still known as a nostalgia game for me? That's a very old game. I played that on the Xbox 360. You'd buy the old games for like $10 from Xbox. I haven't seen that one in like a decade. Didn't Gilliman spank Demon Magnus? Many people have spanked Demon Magnus. How do you get those gunstrikes like that? Because you can stack them on top of each other with the Wings of Flame and normal perfect dodges. And like this class is pretty easy to gather up gunstrikes on. Wow, he just insta-fired me. What was that?
The world, a survivor.
This is very rude.
Reloading.
Assault, yeah. But this really don't really have to if you're building for gunstrikes. Alright, so that. If Gilman gets another model this year from Games Workshop, I'm gonna cry.
Commencing reload.
Prepare to be in tears. You probably will. Or maybe not.
I have walked worlds unnumbered, and have not yet found one I could not find.
Okay, anything here? Just a sandstorm. How lame.
No storm will serve it as remind me that I am blessed that I walk as I am, and not as they do.
Right, okay, let's speed run it, push past wherever you can. Yeah, if you speed run the missions in this game, especially with the increased experiment spawns, let's make them significantly easier.
Another tyrannic monstrosity.
Also skip past bosses at times.
I pray these sands are blending the Titan from those Xenos.
Alright, let's do this.
Avenging angel. The ground rumbles no more. No storm will delay our vengeance.
It came in 2006, old ass game, loved it as a kid. I don't think I ever played that one. I remember playing, most of the games I played were like 2009 games, 2008, when I really got into games. Inside Nintendo.
And that was pitiful light. Rise for reinforcement. Jump factory fuel. This is not a test of metal, but of patience.
Well, you did it, Omega? Hell yeah, dude. I was saying you were struggling with it the other night. The weekly is fucking hard, guys. Like, I can't lie. It is just difficult. AFTG, what do you think about Space Hulk Deathwing? I think Space Hulk Deathwing was pretty cool for its time. There were definitely a lot of things the devs couldn't properly implement that they want to implement. But it is fun. I'll probably play it again on stream at some point.
No storm will delay our
I will likely do that.
vengeance.
I got multi-melted orange. We don't like that gun. It is pretty boring, but it's also pretty damn strong.
And now a train terminal transcends to become the barrel of a bolter.
Obstruction detected. Removal is required to commence.
It's gonna play anything but PvP. Yeah, why would I play
Message
PvP?
received.
PvP isn't even fun to watch in this game. It's not a very enjoyable game mode to me. Why play PvP when I can really do anything else? True. I'm saying. Elbrew Onslaught is fun though. I've heard that, but I don't even care to try it.
I am the righteous storm.
Wow, way to go in a rage. Go back, go back. Oh. Thing.
A tunneling Xenos burrows on this. I am airborne ready. The enemy summons.
Remain calm.
And let terror fall. Send to the Xenos. Turn the Zoanthrope in a hail of bolter.
That's where that bonus power ray comes in. A little bit at least. That power roll though.
Be as an angel of death. Let me see firepower. Your skull makes it work.
There we go.
Commencing reload.
Oh boy.
Rat down.
Ah, didn't catch.
Take me. Lick. Avenging angel at your disposal. Reload. The Imperium's hammer rises to strike. Xenos unleashed.
My armor reinforcements OP. Wow.
I defy the shadow of I'm airborne.
Request services for your wreckage.
Swapping magazine.
That's unfortunate. We got comboed there, whatever.
Your reign of terror is ended.
If you didn't jump on me there, I would have been able to look at the gunstrike and the other guy. It would have been okay. That should kill you. Yep. What do you usually use to maximize ground pound damage? I've heard some of the person working blocks the damage buff correctly.
Now where is this
I mean, once I have Wings of Flame active on this build, that's what you can do. I mean, it's just the base damage weapon at that point.
jump pack refuel?
The base damage of the weapon plus whatever perk you have. Fucking guy, dude. This corner can't be me. Can you believe this? Some shit. Get over here.
Receiving operator. Not found.
The world this Xenos sought to consume now consumes its carcass. I am airborne ready.
Wow, actually ripped me out of my aim here.
Commencing reload.
Request services for your wreckage.
Avenging angel at your disposal. Imperium's hammer rises to strike. Me as an angel of death.
I think an entire sniper spawn. That's a little annoying. There should be an ammo box up there, though.
The Carnifex had tenacity, but no tactics. Xenos hunger is insatiable, but the Imperium is dominant. The Xenos
Alright.
infestation is stemmed from an
Ammo box, perfect. Chaos barges? Chaos barges are pretty For the Emperor brother, indeed, Grobnar.
Departmental Minotaur Weapons Transfer 3639 loading complete. Manifest updated.
Yeah, that was brutal. Okay. After this, we're probably gonna play some Space Beast Terror Fright, maybe. You guys ever seen that game? Pretty funny one. I've been meaning to play it on stream for a while.
Brothers, together we go.
I just wanted to let the Raven Guard fans know that I may not understand your pain, but I know from what it is like to have a missing Primarch from the setting. Is the Emperor only still alive because the Orcs believe him to be so? That would be pretty funny. It's all because of the Orcs. They've been keeping the Imperium active this whole time.
The warhead is ready to go.
Good. Deploy it.
Alright. Good for. A lot of guys.
Right to score. Don't let that one come to reinforcement.
Any melee that falls must truly be a god. And then a Wasp looks interesting. Space Beast Terror Fright is on sale right now. I might do a giveaway of it. Actually, I should do a giveaway of Dark Tide. I do have some keys for that game.
Commencing reload. Let terror fall.
I like Secretary Guardsman. Mori's cool and silent, just like my favorite anime character. He ain't silent. That guy talks all the time. Sounds very like, it sounds just like me, to be honest. Really weird. Why does it sound like Taco Bell when you parry? I don't know. I've actually heard that sound a lot.
Now consumes its carcass.
Oh, hit the button, hit the button. I'll just train.
For the Emperor!
This finale's okay. I'm not like the hugest fan.
Initiating charging cycle. Departmental Minotaur panels will be assessed.
Rear.
We will adapt. We
Orcs
always
write the rules, that they do.
Talassa, I have multiple swarms moving to your location. You have
Now tell me,
the
Twitch
attention.
chat, what kind of emotes do you
Deal with them
want?
swiftly. We will not get another shot at this.
What emotes are you guys after? What tickles your fancy? You're gonna get a Sanguinius one. That is just non-negotiable.
From dank crevices to claw the water.
Trying to build a Lego Formula 1 car because I'm 40 and people buy me Lego. Wow, you must be a goddamn brazen console because Lego costs like $1 bajillion.
Brain is beset by the abhorrent eye of storm.
Lego's like the most expensive toy ever now. Crazy.
Our foes call for aid.
Oh god.
The Xenos dared cross the path of
Oh, that's not it. This one, this one.
Release the train!
Who's looking for the 100 bits? We are not worthy. You are indeed worthy. You're a Red Bull car? You're a Verstappen fan? Pretty sick. Lego's finally 99 plus only in price. $100 for 5 figures in Warhammer, just saying. Yeah, but I mean, Lego's pretty damn close to that at this point. Lego's pretty nuts.
Airborne ready. End that one's pitiful life before it tries their attempt to
Oh.
raid a pestilent swarm.
perfect dodge timings on this class were so beneficial. My friend wants to start Imperial Guard. I said to wait until he wins the lotto first. Not a bad bit of advice for his picker. Why are there so many guys? Jesus. A lot of dudes.
To the Mechanicus device. You will need to keep close proximity to the charging station until the reset is complete.
There's a lot of Majoras. Yeah, seeing as both Oscar and Lando are fighting for it to max and capitalize on it. I figured out how much their floor down force. He's doing much better now. If the parent keeps messing up, he can make it maybe. You guys talking about Formula 1? I'm assuming. Is there no reason to ever use a spin with the Xenophobic blade? The Xenophobic blade? I don't think that's what it's called. I think it's called the Xenophase blade. That's the other Black Templar weapon. The Xenophobic blade. That's funny. That is the funniest thing I've heard all chat. Oh my god, look at this champion, dude. Oh my god, it's the Hive Mind champion. What is he attacking, dude? He's fighting demons. What the fuck? Okay. It's the schizophrenic Biovore. I'm gonna start calling it that. And we're a Black Templar skin if you do. Dude, what is this guy going after? It's actually a schizophrenic Biovore. The Biovore's a Blood Angel and Sawhorus. The Black Rage Blood Biovore. You're on the cusp of fat shaming the Biovore. I can feel what the fuck does that even mean? You fat shame the Biovore is Carapace. Like all muscle and Carapace. I feel like, I don't know, would the Hive Mind waste biomass on fat tissue? Assault class glows probably. I broke its cracking. Got his meds, I guess. This economy, I'm not surprised.
Xenos hunger is insatiable, but the jump pack refused.
It would on cold weather planets, that's true, but I feel like you could do something more interesting. Get shit on. Spin to win. Oh, it's time.
Deploy immediately.
With pleasure.
I would say it's quite satisfying. I think these guys all have the gunstrikes here. Very nice. Right.
Another alien falls. You. I'm airborne.
And that was a wrap. A lot of Majoras, that's actually pretty fun. Usually the end of that mission kind of blows. You guys know other people bring pirate weapons and you can't see anything? Not really. I really thought it was a big issue. Especially after they patched their
Detonation in 5.
textures and stuff.
Brace for shockwave.
Let's see here. I would make it past the first wave solo. Not yet. If you practice, though, you definitely will.